Mr. Speaker. Good evening. I rise today to oppose President Trump's anti-immigrant executive orders and to share with you why I feel these orders harm the people across my district and ultimately across our nation. I'm here because my grandfather came here as an Italian immigrant back in 1921. He told us that the reason he came here was to give his children a better life. And he wanted a chance to achieve what I think we all know to be the American dream. I'm here in front of you living the reality of that dream. And that is why I strive every day, as best as I can, to give back to my country and community here in Washington, D.C., and especially on the Central Coast of California. I do that not only because of my grandfather, but because it was our forefathers that made it clear that this is a nation, this is a country based on we, the people. And so to me, in this country, being American means that all of us bear the burden to serve one another and to welcome those, especially those, who are willing to come here and share in that responsibility. I believe that we should embrace them. I believe that we should embolden them with the opportunities to share in that American dream. We know that the world looks to the United States for enlightened leadership. But these ill-advised actions send a wrong message about our values as a nation. We are a nation of immigrants. We are stronger because of our diversity and because of the people who have taken the risk to come here, just as my grandfather did, to live here and to contribute to our country and our communities. On the Central Coast of California, that is the heart and soul of that area. I see hardworking men and women who come to this country to live in it and contribute to it. The two main industries there on the Central Coast are agriculture and tourism. Big industries. There are people, workers, owners, who contribute greatly, not only to those industries, but to our communities. And they are our neighbors, our friends, our families, our children. They sit next to my two daughters and play with them at school. Clearly, without them, my community would be a shell of its former self. I hear the pain in their voices because they feel that this administration's executive orders targets them and makes them feel unwelcome. And I've seen that these types of executive orders drive a wedge in our country, and it drives them further away from participating in our community. Before I was sworn in on January 3rd of this year, I was a prosecutor. And for the 5.5 years I was there in the Monterey County District Attorney's Office, I prosecuted gang crimes. And in that type of prosecution, as you can imagine, as you know well, it can be very difficult to have witnesses come forward and participate in one of the cornerstones of our country, our criminal justice system. They are intimidated. They are worried about retribution and retaliation. Yet now, from what I've heard, is that they are worried not just about criminals, they are worried about the government cracking down on them if they came forward, cracking down on them and sending them back to where they came from. These executive orders discourage participation in our community. And instead, as a nation, we should encourage people to step up, to step forward, and to be a part of our criminal justice system. Last weekend, I met with community members, and I heard directly from them about their concerns. And this weekend, I'm doing it again. I'm holding a town hall to continue this conversation. I believe it is our responsibility to listen to all of our community members and consider the implications of these types of executive orders and the implications that they have on all of our constituents. When the President of the United States was sworn in, he took an oath to protect all members of our nation by supporting in defending our Constitution. As a member of Congress, I took an oath to support and defend that very same Constitution. And rest assured, I will honor that oath. And I will honor the oath to my grandfather and to this country by fighting and resisting unconstitutional orders from this or any other president. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.